The labor theory of value persisted long after it was clear that it had very little correspondence with reality, and I think the reasons why that is are both interesting and instructive. So, the labor theory of value states that the value of a thing should be proportional to the amount of labor required to produce it. This is a very appealing idea. The classical economists were very interested in this idea of value. Where does it come from? And can we reduce value to a common denominator? And the denominator that they settled on, that Smith proposed and that was taken forward by Ricardo, was this idea of labor. Now, if you think about this, it's pretty clearly false. What determines the exchange value of an item is the amount that someone is willing to pay for it. Supply and demand schedules, or just willingness to pay. How is this instructive? I think there are two main ways. The first is that just because something is intuitive and elegant and simple doesn't necessarily make it true. The labor theory of value was very attractive and easy to explain, but it is pretty clearly false, and it existed longer than it should have in economic orthodoxy because economists were very reluctant to let go of this simple and elegant explanation for how value was created. The second reason why I think this is instructive is actually also an argument for studying history, in that it can teach us a level of humility about the norms and beliefs that we treat as foundational today. The labor theory of value was espoused by men who were geniuses, I think is the right word. Incredibly intelligent people thought about this and said, this is correct, and formed the foundation for years of economic study. We certainly have beliefs today that in 20 or 30 or 50 or 100 years will look absurd to people who come later on. And I think we should hope that's the case, because it will indicate that humanity has continued to progress. But I think it helps with this idea or understanding that just because things seem true today and seem kind of obvious does not necessarily mean that they will be universal laws into forever time. Anyway, I've been thinking about making this video for a long time, and I don't think this was exactly the right way to do it, but I wanted to make it just so I could stop thinking about it.